I want to thank you all for joining us. Why do this record?
What drives us is we really want to make a difference. And Michael Jackson was the perfect artist who spoke to all of us. He tapped us on the shoulder and said, would you just do me one small favor and remind people that I'm the greatest? And we all said yes. And that's why this album.
L.A., how did this project start?
So the project started with a conversation that I had with John Branca. How about you let me hear everything that's been recorded, everything on tape, whether it's an entire song or a fragment of a song. Let me hear everything. And then let me go out and put my team together and make an album on Michael.
I want to ask you all what Michael meant to you on a personal and professional level. Tim, you're the lead producer on this, so I want to start with you on this question.
Michael was one of the greatest entertainers. I felt like I had to dig into a place where it's just deeper than just music. Mm-hmm. I have to dig into a place to where he would accept what I'm doing without him telling me this is right.
You know, sometimes you don't know exactly why you end up where you end up. It's not always in your plans, you know? And so something spoke to me in the last year that said, you know, you should do something really special with Michael. And that special project ended up being Xscape.
When L.A. called me to be part of the project, at first I was a little hesitant. And it wasn't that I didn't trust L.A., it's just that I worked with Michael before. And I knew what his expectations was, what his standards were.
The very first thought was, I love Michael Jackson, I would love to be involved, but then there was also some reservation because, are the songs gonna be any good? Is it just gonna be some material that's kind of half finished?
Once L.A. played me the music, I was all the way in. I was like, oh yeah, this is a Michael Jackson. This is one of them classic albums.
Felt so good, and I died if it ever could. Not like you,
The moment I heard some material, some of the first songs that were done, I was blown away. And there was not a doubt in my mind that this was something I wanted to work on.
His vocals are so powerful. It's gonna draw you to do something. As a genius musician, his voice commands you to get and do something.
You catch him right at his peak, right when he was at his prime, when his voice was so crisp and so full and so warm. You know, just listening to his tracks make you want to dance. You don't even have to see him. You just hear him and you want to dance.
I think some of the fans have those same fears and they wonder if we should be doing this. But you know what? The answer is yes, we should be doing it. If it wasn't supposed to be, it wouldn't be this good.
He influenced me since I was a kid.
I grew up when they were the Jacksons, the Jackson 5s.
I remember being in Toledo, Ohio. I want to say it was like 1986 or something like that, me being like 9 years old and walking in the mall and hearing Human Nature and Thriller for the first time in the mall in Toledo, Ohio.
We're old enough to remember when Beat It and Thriller first came out. And, you know, we were 11 years old, so it made a huge impression on me just on a personal level, but then as I got a little older, on the musical level.
Michael might have been single-handedly the reason why I wanted to become a producer.
Were there any hesitations for anyone? You asked to look at everything in the vault, but you didn't know what was there, did you?
No, I had no idea what was there. So I had to have some guides. I made a rule for myself. I'm only interested in songs that Michael sang from top to bottom, multiple times. Because then I would know that he loved the song. Because I didn't want us to put out music that Michael didn't want the world to hear. After my song selections, I thought about which producers really contemporize these songs, and I felt like the best producer was Timbaland.
If I would have did it, I wouldn't have had the piano in there. I would have had like bling, boom, bling,
right,
bling, bling, boom, bling, 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 boom, bling, 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 boom, 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 boom. Put like a worm sound, a parliament worm, like that Prince sound.
Right.
It'd be cool.
I don't know. There was just something I always loved about Timbaland's production. always youthful, always funky, but they were still pop songs. You have a powerful sound, and you're a powerful presence, musically a powerful presence, and you could have taken over, and the end result could have easily been that it sounded like a Timbaland album as opposed to a Michael Jackson album, because I feel you completely on these records, but
I'm not overstepping my boundaries. I'm just enough in your face.
you let Michael still be the star of the show.
We've been planning how do we do this and how would he want us to do this.
Right.
How would Michael want us to do this? What would not being flamboyant about the project. He has been with me through this whole process.
We should listen to Loving You,
Original?
the original, and then let's listen to Loving You as you've contemporized it. Here's the original.
Hear the warp from the tape.
You hear that?
That's a dope sound though. I like that.
Hello, August moon, where are the stars of the night? You promised me too soon, 'cause it's been cloudy all night.
Yeah.
Hello, August moon, where are the stars of the night?
It's a big difference, ain't it?
Oh my God.
It's been cloudy all night, and the weather.
Don't mind if I turn this up, dude.
If you're not well, stay in bed. 'Cause I've been feeling down and blue, and it's cloudy in my head. Instead of going out to some restaurant, I stay home in bed. I'll be loving you. That's what I wanna do.
But I noticed that what you did, you brought the pocket out and it actually made his voice sound like
Karen.
I felt the energy in the way he was singing it.
That's the whole purpose, because that's what you loved about Michael.
When I went in there with the mindset of, what would Michael want me to do right now? There was things that I would do musically, and it was almost like I could hear his voice saying, no, try this.
I'm doing Michael Jackson, but I can't talk to him. So how do I channel to him? So when I did my music, I hear him saying, that's it, Tim. That's it. That's what I like. But somehow I look around, I'll be like, and nobody be in the room. I never shared this story. So I like, even with my co-producer, Jerome, he like, you all right? I said, no, I'm cool, man. His spirit resonated through me to give me the okay.
I was thinking every morning when we started opening up his vocal and we started listening back, I pretended like Michael was gonna come in the room in 10 minutes. And, I wanted to make sure that I felt like he would have approved.
It was almost like his spirit was there with us when we did it.
This is another interesting one. This one is Blue Gangster. You have no idea what this sounds like, right?
No. See, some of this stuff, after a while, after the first 3 songs I heard the original, I said, it's gonna throw me off, so just play the acapellas.
Like sometimes when we ask producers or songwriters to go back and rewrite something, it's hard to do it because it's like what they heard when they wrote it is stuck.
This one don't sound as bad as the rest of them.
He is doing the right stuff.
It's cool, yeah.
What you gonna do? You ain't a friend of mine. Look what you put me through. Now that I'm the blue gangster.
It's the first time I've listened to that, except 9 months ago when I thought, okay, that's a melody that works. And I never listened again until Timbaland sent it back. And it sounded like this.
What you gonna do? You ain't a friend of mine. Look what you put me through. Now that I'm the blue gangster. What you gonna do? You ain't a friend of mine. I'm the blue gangster. What you gonna do? You ain't a friend of mine. I'm the blue gangster.
I don't never really talk. And you know me for years. I don't talk cocky, but
No.
I'm a bad man.
Michael would be in the lounge watching footage on Jackie Wilson, James Brown, and Charlie Chaplin. And he was about probably 40 when we were working together. And I walk in, I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm studying. Now, mind you, he had all the Grammys, millions and millions of albums sold, and I said, what do you study? He said, you never stop studying the greats. And that was a serious, serious lesson for me as a young and up-and-coming person to hear him say that and to witness that.
We wrote Slave to the Rhythm for Michael, and this time it was myself and my lifelong best friend and partner, Kenny Babyface Edmonds. The song sat in the vault forever, from 1991 until recently. He recorded that vocal top to bottom, the entire song, 24 times. Not once and then take a break or once and fix the bad note. No, he sang the song from top to bottom 24 times. Here's how it was originally, and then I'll show you what Timbaland did to really bring it up to date, make it cool, and make it listenable. And then it came alive.
She dances in the sheets at night. She dances to his needs. She dances till he feels just right until he falls asleep.
That one I have to just say thank you, because this song in the 90s when we made it, it didn't surface because it never quite measured up. Like, I liked it a lot, but never thought it was a smash. And what you've done is you added an element to it that makes it like dancing. You made the song dancing. You made Michael sound like he was dancing when he did it. You brought it into a place where at least it matters now. Yeah. Uh-oh, more killers. Like the mafia now.
Chilling. Like I done graduated.
Rodney, you have the only song that you produced the original version and you produced the version that will appear on the Xscape album. To play the before and after is you comparing you to you.
That's original?
That's the original.
What year was this?
99 we started. Finished around 2001.
Everywhere I turn, no matter where I look.
So let's hear the 15 years later version of Xscape.
Dark child. Escape. Gotta get away from the system. To the world today. Escape. The pressure that I feel from a relationship. Had to go away. Escape. The man with the feeling.
When we worked on Xscape, Michael's was like, dig deeper. Where's the sound that's gonna make you listen to it over and over again? He's like, no, you gotta go to the junkyard and just start hitting stuff. I never forget this. I go to the junkyard, start hitting stuff, and stuff that starts sounding like, whoa, that sound like that could fit as a snare. That sound like that might could go with the kick. It was all of those moments of him challenging, constantly challenging for that next thing.
Once we got into the project, there was something missing for me. So next on my list was Stargate. So I went to them and I played them the body of work that we created up to that point. And I played them a couple of songs that weren't done. And I asked them to get involved. And they respectfully declined.
LA came down to the studio and I'm sure he'll tell you this too. He kind of got a no from us the first time he presented the project. But then he also gave us a choice. He played us 3 different songs and let us choose which one we wanted to work on.
Just listening to the vocals of A Place With No Name that we ended up doing it just has so much of Michael's magic, just the performance and his whole rhythm, and he really went to work on the background, so just the vocals alone really inspired us. You have the original there?
I think I have the original.
Yeah, there it is. No wonder the original writer didn't recognize it, right?
He's like, that's my song?
As I drove across on the highway, my Jeep began to rock. I didn't know
So
Wow.
you went from there, and you ended up.
As I drove across on the highway, my Jeep began to rock.
That thing right there is a vocoder,
Of course, we can. That's vocoder.
the bass, and then there's a mood bass on top of it playing the same.
So this is just vocals and drums. That's obviously
Wow.
Like tablas.
Wow.
As I drove across on the highway, my Jeep began to rock.
All the snaps in the vocal as well.
So I stopped
Those are his
and got
snaps.
out and looked down. I noticed I got a
this
flat.
is just the drums and vocals.
So I walked out, parked the car like sideways, so I can find what I can fix. I looked around, there were no cars on the highway. I felt a
Well, what's
strange
interesting-
feeling like a mist. So I walked down toward the end of the road.
Listen to how rhythmic that vocal track
And in
is.
the fog,
That's what we
a
listen to.
woman appeared.
That's what gave us the funk.
She
That's
said,
what gave us
"Don't
the
you worry, my friend.
energy.
I'll take care. Take my hand. I'll take it there.
And then, of course,
Take me to a place without no name.
and when we have the chords, that's what we knew we had it.
Take me to a place without no
Bring out the band.
name. Take me to a place without no name. Take me to.
First and foremost, we're fans. You know, we are fans of Michael and his music, and we grew up on it. So I felt that there's a certain heritage we have to show some respect.
Right.
We talked about it a little bit without getting too academic about it, because at the end of the day, it's all about emotion. But we talked about what is Michael? What did he stand for? You know, there's a soulfulness to all his music. There's timelessness, but it's still contemporary.
Exactly.
Man, being in the studio and just having the acapella of Michael's vocals and listening to him, you start to really understand how great he really was. The way he crafted his backgrounds, the way the approach of his lead vocals, and how passionate you can hear, and you can hear his foot in the booth when he's singing and his fingers snapping.
Chicago was one of those tracks that when you heard it, his voice was so rich and so deep on it, told such a story. Mike literally left you a map. He had the drums, and it was just Mike's vocals. And I put up a bass patch.
Is this that bass patch?
That was a cool bass. It was the,
Met her on the way to Chicago.
and I was just
That
yeah.
bass patch. Yeah. Told him, I was like, I kind of like it, but I'm gonna redo it. Yo, you would have thought I said we was about to go to war. He was like, no.
Michael would have went crazy over that.
Right there?
Listen, Michael would have went crazy over that. Without even hearing anything else right now, I'm telling you, that little part right there,
Real?
that's it, that's it. He would have probably jumped on top of this joint, started dancing, the whole nine.
As the years passed, you know, I ran into Michael many times. One time in particular, we had a very specific meeting about him joining the label and us working together. He told me things like, I trust you, I want to work with you, I'll do everything you ask me to do, as long as it's about being great. If it can't be great, if it can't be groundbreaking, then we shouldn't do it.
This is his way of saying, don't ever count me out. I know how to say checkmate. He put me, Rodney, Jerome's with me, all us together to make this monumental album.
Michael embodied greatness in everything that he did. not just as an artist, as a humanitarian, as a person. That was his life. He was all about being great. He preached it all the time. So it's our duty now as a team to bring our greatness, with his greatness, and now let the world hear what we came to do.
What really moved me about Michael is, because during this project, we really studied him. He talked about love. He talked always about giving love. It was never about how much love he got back. And we feel it's our responsibility to really defend his honor and really stand for what he stood for. And he stood for love.
I almost didn't want it to end. Like I was texting you, I think we have the music now. We'll work on the drums tomorrow. And then the next day we're like, we're halfway there with the drums.
Right. And normally you can't wait to
Normally I just
stuff.
want to finish stuff up. But here I was just listening through it, and it was just such a joy to work with his vocal and kind of his spirit and his legacy, and to be part of that. It's really a huge moment for us. So we're glad it came out great.
I don't want it to end either.
I felt like we all did a collective great job to make it current. We really put together a great body of work.
What Michael Jackson means to me is multiple great moments in my life and multiple great moments, I think, in the history of pop culture, and the influence and the impact that he's had on other artists. He's simply the greatest ever.
Everywhere I turn, no matter where I look, the system's in control, is all ran by the book. I got to get away so I can free my mind. Escape is what I need from the electric guys. No matter where I am, I see my face around. They've been lies on my name, then push them town to town. Don't have a place to run, but there's no need to hide. I got to find a place, but I won't hide away. Escape, I got to go from the system. I'm gonna get away. The friendship that I made from relationship. Don't you know I need it? The man was a friend that breaks me like that. I'm gonna get away. I do what I will, 'cause I gotta please nobody. Get away. Don't you try it. Pressure that I'm feeling every day. The man with the pin that breaks the life that has no. Come on now. I do.